Welcome back to Blanks No One Asked For, and in today's episode, a few Americans will be counting down the top 10 places that we visited while in England.
I'm shocked.
We do have to preface this entire episode by saying this is not the top 10 places to visit in England.
Nope.
As we have only been to southern England, these are just the top 10 places that we
From
visited.
our first trip.
Yep. We like what we like.
Exactly.
Not the second trip, not the third trip, the first trip.
And all of these rankings were put into place by a point system, with the lowest number of points being in the top spot. So without further ado, let us get started with number 10. Kicking off our countdown, coming in at the number 10 spot is maybe the smallest place on the list, that being Thame. So this is where we were based out of. We didn't spend a ton of time in Thame, but I think some of the sites that we saw there were enough to have it crack our top 10 list.
Yeah, I had a good pub night.
Yeah, we had a good pub night.
Sans me.
I do wish we had footage from the pub night playing Scrabble.
I did enjoy the little traffic dodging y'all did.
Oh yeah, the first time and the only time in England with our tour guide.
Okay. Playing Frogger.
If nothing else in Thame warrants it to be on our top 10 list, at least kebab automatically.
Oh, yeah.
Kebab.
Oh,
Kebab.
Kebab.
That's not a bob. It's
Oh yes, thank you. Yeah, I don't know. And there was something about the morning that we woke up. I'm not sure I was aware that we were going to be walking from the hotel to the grocery store, from the grocery store back to our host's home.
Yeah.
But that was actually a pretty pleasant walk.
Yeah.
Like I felt ready to take on the day after that walk. So when we left the hotel that morning and I was looking around and I didn't see the van, and then we just like walked off through this wooded area. I was like, what the heck are we doing?
Yeah, after that walk, I was ready to eat breakfast.
Which is a good thing we had a full English waiting for us.
It was
Well,
there.
we thought we were
And
gonna get
breakfast
murdered.
we had.
indeed.
So all of those things combined, while it does not crack any higher than the number 10 slot, it did earn its place.
Good place to start. Moving along to our number 9 place that we visited. And we only went to one place here, but Kent.
Yeah, Kent. We talked about it a little bit in our podcast. Leeds Castle was very interesting.
Yeah.
But it was the only thing that we experienced from Kent. And looking at Kent, there is so much more to do there that I'd like to make another pit stop at some point in Kent and really just see more of it. So really, Kent on our list is Leeds Castle. But since we're doing towns and cities, more so of Kent. What was everybody's favorite part of Leeds Castle as far as the castle itself?
That real loud bird that tried to ruin our videos. That was my favorite part. Every time I tried to say something,
And few and far between. You probably only tried to say 4 words in the entire video.
he totally out-talked me in that video.
Yeah, the whole time. I talked to you in one video for the whole trip. It's crazy. I enjoyed the botanical arrangement on the way up.
That was really cool. I mean, there was like a whole garden walk before you even got to the castle. Ducks, whole 9 yards, and then the maze.
The maze was cool.
That's what I was going to say was the maze.
It was amazing.
That was,
Yes.
and then going down into the, what do you call it?
Oh, a little cavern area,
Yeah.
like the underground
Little waterfall going on down there.
That was pretty neat. And I just think, as there was a lot to explore on the inside of the castle, and it was a lot more lax, I guess, on like filming and photography.
Yeah.
So you could pretty much photograph anything in there, which was much different than like the
Windsor Castle.
the Windsor apartments and whatnot.
20-pound putt-putt, and that would have been fun.
Yeah,
Can't wait to go back to Kent.
yeah. So all in all, Kent,
Kent.
pretty
Number
great.
9.
Number 8, we have Oxford.
I'm so disappointed in all of you.
4.
This is so low on everybody's list as I see the top 10 in front of me.
Yeah, I'll be honest. If this was one of the days where I feel like maybe we We could have spent time elsewhere,
Yes, we Americanized the trip.
but I do feel like there's a lot more to Oxford that we didn't really touch on. Some of the tours, some of the older colleges.
Yes, the older colleges.
Older college.
However, with that being
Oxford
said,
University.
the Ashmolean Museum I thought was really well done. Really cool to see the big tomb thing in the middle of that room.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thought that was neat. And then we can't forget
The
about
sepulcher.
the sphincter.
The sphincter.
We can't forget about Keble Cottage.
Absolutely not.
Absolutely not.
In my opinion, that was probably the highlight of the Oxford day. With Keble College being my personal favorite part of the Oxford day, I feel like if we had shifted some of our priorities to more things like that, it would have ranked higher on my list.
Well, then you can't blame that it's the top 10 place to visit. It's the top 10 places that you did. Like you guys screwed that up. That's why Oxford should be higher. It's fourth on my list
So why do you rate it high?
because I think there's a ton of history there, as far as like places to see and like architecture and there would have been better things to see than what we did.
But I ranked
For the same reason that you rate Kent that low because you'd like to go back and see more, you should do the same for Oxford.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's more to see. I'm
Sure,
sure.
flawed logic there, twin.
no, it's not flawed logic.
No,
I
no.
ranked based upon what I experienced.
I guess we'll just skip over the train.
I'm surprised you didn't rate Oxford last, seeing as how the Oxy Chinese place was there.
Yeah.
It took it a small amount.
Yeah, I guess I'm doing mine by what we did and how much fun I had and this and that.
I would rank both Kent and Oxford higher if we'd done more things there.
If we did.
So to me, that's the same logic.
Anywho,
Seeing where the inspiration for the Harry Potter's movies, where he got the idea from, seeing that door with the tree.
Nope.
that was Lord of the Rings.
Was that Lord of the Rings?
And that was a different town.
That was a different town.
You want to start over or you want to keep that?
I'll keep that. But
However-
Harry Potter was Oxford, though.
Yes.
Anyways, that was Oxford. I'd like to go back and see more, and that's why it's higher on my list as opposed to the other gentlemen. Number 7, Josh will tell us.
All right, coming in at number 7, something we all need from time to time is Bath, and that's what we visited. Bath, coming in at number 7.
I've not taken a bath in probably 15 years. All showers here.
Ice bath. I'll do the bath.
Yeah, again, this is one of those cities I'd like to spend a little more time in, and really get a feel for a lot of what's in Bath. Going back and watching one of our reaction videos, there was a lot that was shown in Bath that we didn't get around to.
Yeah.
Most of what we saw in Bath was the Roman baths.
And we saw that one house on the bridge.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
the bridge. But the Roman baths, to me, it was just one of those moments where you really had to take a step back and be like, wow, we're actually standing somewhere where people would have been bathing there literally 1,000 years ago.
There was naked people there. I should probably revise my rating to be higher.
Yeah, I think the architecture in Bath, like even outside of the Roman baths, as we were walking through the city, because we didn't really drive around Bath a lot, it was all foot walk. It was all walking
By foot.
By foot, yes. The architecture in Bath was different than any that we had seen, in my opinion. Like, it had its own, and something that we've said about pubs before, like it had its own personality. Like you could tell, like you take that building out of Bath and you could tell that it was Bath architecture. So
I'll bring that. Yeah.
Heavenly Desserts.
that was great
That was-
to me.
That was a dive in a good way. So
Stop saying that.
yeah, if you've seen some
Just
of our
canceled.
if you've seen some of our old stuff, a dive here is great. Heavenly Desserts was great.
That was not even supposed to be a place that we went to.
No.
We were just left Nando's, and I was like, dude, I'm hankering for something.
Yeah, something sweet.
Sweet.
Scratch that sweet tooth itch.
So I went to Google and I just typed in desserts in Bath, and it came up. This first thing that came up, Heavenly Desserts. I was like, all right, let's walk there.
They offer anything else but
No,
desserts.
they don't.
It was just scratching that sweet tooth.
Yep.
Just desserts.
And we walked in, and it was like, oh, I think maybe we shouldn't be here. I'm not sure we have the dinero for this kind of place.
Moolah, the cheddar.
Yeah.
But I feel like it was
Dope.
fairly
The
priced
pineapple.
for the quality of the desserts that we got.
Yes, so that was Bath.
All in all those things combined brought Bath to our number 7 rating.
Dun dun dun.
Wow. Just under midway on the list.
Number 6. The great city of London.
Where we spent our entire trip.
the entirety of their trip. We just rode a bunch of places up here. We spent all our time in London.
Absolutely.
All right, Josh. So you're the only one that put London in his top 5.
Yes.
Which is
So
crazy.
I am curious. Please, sir, expound upon
Well,
London.
like I said earlier,
City boy.
to the tourist, it's a pretty amazing thing to see. Like all the Big Ben, the churches, the big buildings. I mean, it's got everything. You know, it's got all the stuff that I can't say it's got everything, but it's got so much stuff that a person like me would want to see, and that's why I rated it so high.
I'm glad we went to London. I do feel like there's so much in London that we have yet to experience. It just, for me, while it was a spectacle for sure, it just didn't compare to some of the other.
I didn't feel as if I got to see enough.
I really wish I could have saw more. I wanted to see more,
True.
honestly.
I think probably my favorite
Hate us in the
part.
comments.
Probably my favorite part about London was the borough market. If I'm being honest.
Oh,
My favorite part was
Awesome.
the first day driving into London and a shoplifter being chased down the street. That was my favorite.
Forgot about it.
stole my phone!
yeah,
Get back
was,
here.
that was our first experience of London ever.
Yeah.
Just a shop
shoplifter
owner chasing the shoplifter down the middle of the
Yeah.
street. Yeah, Borough Market. I feel like yeah, it was great to see Big Ben and Westminster Abbey and all these places that as Americans you grow up seeing in movies and television shows, and like that's just Buckingham Palace.
Yeah.
That was great, but Borough Market, like I feel like I could take an entire day and go back to Borough Market and just try a little something from every single cart.
I don't feel like I could.
It was great. I don't feel like
It's-
we touched the surface on what's available there.
I mean,
I'm down with that. Like, me and you go visit that place all day long. You try this, I try that.
I mean,
Let's
I could
split
do
this.
that, but I still think you would run that stuff. I don't think it's as expansive as you're making it.
I don't know. I feel like the internet.
feel
I feel
Huge.
like you could have done more at the other
Camden.
Thank you. At Camden Market than you could have at Borough.
Maybe so. I feel like Borough's bigger though. You know, so it's more spread
I think
out.
it's bigger surface area wise. I don't think it's as many.
definitely holds more people.
Yes. What,
Camden, you're talking Camden.
Camden.
No,
Holds more people.
no.
Well, I thought Camden was the one that
Camden
was
was,
packed.
Camden is
was
packed.
packed.
Yeah.
It was like
Camden was
shoulder to
like-
shoulder. I
yeah.
feel like there was more people at Borough. There was just
Yeah.
more surface area for them to be.
Spread out, yeah.
Yeah.
Either way, I definitely want to go back to London.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind going.
So it's not in any of y'all's top 5?
The list is in front of me.
I know.
Zach is at 7. You're at 2. I'm at 6. Mark is at 7.
I guess I'm the biggest tourist here then. Because, you know, I think that's one thing as a tourist, when you go to the UK, that's one thing you've got to do. I feel like it's one thing you have to do is visit London just so you can say that you've been there for one, and then try to pack as much, you know, sights and sounds and all that stuff.
I'm going back at some point.
Yeah, I mean, I'd go again just to see it and try to actually spend some time there, you know, rather than, I know,
I'd like to
if,
spend 1 calendar month in London.
gosh, absolutely, absolutely.
Number 5, Cotswolds.
I'm deeply saddened that I didn't get to see more of this place.
Yeah.
Best bathrooms in the UK, hands down,
He knows. He spent most of his time there.
hands down.
Yeah, I think if there was one place on this list above all else that I would like to experience, like if I can only choose one more place to go back to and experience more of out of this entire list, it'd be the Cotswolds. I feel like there is so much more there, and there's even like towns and villages within the Cotswolds that
Yes.
we didn't get around to making it to, that we never saw at all. the feeling in the Cotswolds, again, it was just like, I think I referenced it in the vlog itself. It's like a storybook, like just looking at the villages. I don't know, I just felt like I was in like a grim fairy tale novel. Pretty cool place.
Now back to your flawed logic. So you'd like to see more of this place, but based off what we did, which we did very minimal of, you would like to go back to that versus what you did in Oxford, because you chose to do that in Oxford, but you don't want to see more of the place.
No, I would like to see more of Oxford.
I get that, but you're rating what you did in the Cotswolds higher than what
Correct.
you did versus Oxford.
Yes, I did enjoy my time in the Cotswolds more than I did in Oxford. Overall.
But we did less. And different stuff.
Quality, not quantity. There's something about walking down Arlington Road.
I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just saying your logic is
So
terrible.
why didn't you rate London number 1 then? Because we did so much in London. Why is
It's
it not high?
quality, not quantity.
Yeah, London was great. It was not top 5 material in my opinion.
Yeah, flawed
make
logic.
this count.
I'm starting to agree with Taylor. In some ways.
I did not value what I did in London more than what I did in the Cotswolds, even as minimal as what we did in the Cotswolds were. I feel like the sights that I saw in the Cotswolds were well above and beyond anything that I saw in London. I've seen New York City. I've seen Chicago. It wasn't much different.
Not saying.
That's my logic.
Flawed
I'm
logic.
sticking to
Anyways, Burton on the water. We got to see the cool model village of the Cotswolds. That was pretty cool.
You had to do a speed run after your
I
1
did.
hour trip to the restroom.
I did.
Saw that bathroom too.
So I
Well,
waited.
they get on me about the bathroom, but these two were in the bathroom the most of the time.
Okay, I'm sorry that I was dying of some type of plague. You regularly use the bathroom 2 to 3 times a day, sir, on vicious cycles.
I waited for Taylor to come out of the bathroom. He was like, I'm gonna just walk around here real quick. So then I walked with Taylor back around the mile of it. Oh, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool too. That's pretty cool.
It's just not feeling very well.
Yeah, all of a sudden, a couple guys just disappeared, and I'm like, where did they go?
Now it's time for you to talk about a certain movie and a certain inspiration.
Now that we're down there. It's
Oh, this was where
TV.
Toy Story was filmed.
From what I was saying earlier, the inspiration for Lords of the Rings stole on
Lords of the Rings. Try it again, Mark.
Oh,
Out of all the churches and cathedrals that we visited, the stained glass window assortment in that church was probably my favorite.
Depicting the 5 scenes. And,
Yeah, it was ginormous, massive, and honestly, out of all the kind of panoramic shots that I took in England, that small little section is probably my favorite collection of shots.
So I was gonna say my favorite place I've been is the Burton on the water and just the downtown. Just
Is that where the water's in the middle and you got
Yeah.
like both sides of the city?
yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of cool.
That was pretty neat.
going off yours, I was just amazed by how they were able to do that 1,000 years ago. 1,200, whatever, however long ago it was.
I told you I made a joke while we were there. So you imagine you're gonna be up there working on that today. I don't know, man. You, I ain't doing. Get up there and do it your damn self.
I'm afraid of heights.
Not today, you're not.
So yeah, Cotswolds coming in at number 5.
And just like we did, came in hot off the plane, number 4 to Windsor Castle.
I like that.
You're welcome.
Yeah, so Windsor coming in at number 4. It ranked high on most of our lists,
Except for mine.
not all of our lists.
I mean,
Wow.
I liked everything better. I mean, it's not that I didn't like Windsor Castle. I just liked everything else better.
And it could be like an emotional thing, it being the first place that we visited, and again that site of the castle, it being the first ever castle experience, really first ever architecture experience for true
It was
England.
cool, but I don't like castle for castle. Leeds was better.
Ooh, I highly disagree.
I don't agree either.
Nah. Just
Leeds,
the overall of Leeds.
yeah, I don't know. Leeds Castle reminded me more of like
An estate.
like a home
Yeah.
as opposed to an actual castle.
Yeah.
Okay, so I mean that's where I would, if you had to choose to live in a castle, I'd want to live in an estate. No, I don't want to.
Oh,
live
I
in-
wouldn't want to live in Windsor. I'd live in Leeds before I lived in Windsor, but to visit Windsor.
Nah. So that's where I'd rather be at Leeds. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, so I don't know. There's something about
It's a
Windsor
great castle.
Castle.
Changing of the guards was neat to see.
That was really cool seeing an ABBA dancing queen playing.
Who would have thought?
I was not banking on that, and I think a big part of Windsor for me too is the cathedral there, and just the amount of people that are contained within that cathedral. The amount of time it took to build something like that is mind-blowingly impressive. I don't know. It's
Maybe just the royal family doesn't impress me as much as everybody else.
and yeah, I don't know. There's something magical is a weird word, but I did really enjoy Windsor and the.
I also got crammed in a phone booth. That was
Yeah.
pretty cool. I found the only non-pissy phone booth.
Yeah, apparently a lot of people like to pee in phone booths, but we found the one that they don't.
But they did.
I don't know. It was also our first experience with like groceries, so like we were hot off the plane, as you said, and we're going through M&S, like kids in candy store. Like that was a really cool experience just to witness like for firsthand like the meat packaging and how much different like milk is sold. The
Bread
open sale.
sold. It's wide open, like
Eggs
out in the open.
out in the open.
Yep. So very
Not
very cool.
refrigerated.
Windsor, number 4.
Oh, life.
On to the top 3.
Coming in at number 3, we've got Cheddar Gorge.
And imagine if you'd have tried the cheese, it might have made the top.
Oh gosh, it could have.
Yeah,
Maybe with some wine,
maybe.
cheddar and cheese, cheddar and wine.
What's amazing is that it's kind of highly rated somewhat across, but this is Mark's favorite place in England.
It was my favorite place, I think.
So do tell.
Seeing like I said in the podcast, the caves, the Jacob's Ladder.
Where you almost died,
Where
and
I
it's your
almost died.
favorite place.
Yeah,
Amazing.
it pushed me to my limits, sir.
Mark's all about death, and horror.
What was that we had that we ate?
The
Pasty.
pasty.
The pasty, yeah, that was good. Like I said, if we had the cheddar, it probably would have made at least
Number one,
Number
for
one
sure.
for sure.
Scrumpty would have made Jacob Platter a little bit more important.
It would have made it a lot more interesting. It'd be like the Boulder and Indiana Jones going towards some locals.
Watch me come down Jacob's ladder. Tuck and roll.
Yeah. Also, my first cave ever, and I actually
I've been in a
looking
few caves.
So we heard.
looking back on it, I wish we'd have had the time to visit the second one because there was actually another cave in Cheddar Gorge.
What was it called?
Didn't get around to making it.
We took a picture of
Cox Cave.
it. I knew it was.
Was it Cox?
It was
Yeah.
Cox Cave. But overall, oddly enough, a place that we didn't even intend on visiting.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
Crashes into number 3.
it was
So, ladies and gentlemen,
recommended to us by our travel guide or
if you are an American thinking about going to England and you have someone giving you advice that is a local, take their advice. Listen to them; they know what they're talking about.
dive headfirst into the caves. As we dive headfirst into the top 2, coming in at 2.
Here's a place you probably shouldn't try diving.
Wait,
There you go.
before he mentions it, there's only 2 places left, so you should take this moment down below, pause the video, and tell us what you think is a part of our top 2. Don't worry, we'll wait.
Mark said you had 2 more seconds. And coming in just 20 miles across from the country of France, looking over across the English Channel as I knock over this microphone and slowly readjust it, the White Cliffs of Dover. I got a lot of chalk on my shoes.
I did
there too.
and on my rear end
Yeah.
And on my rear end.
Now,
from sliding down a path that I was not made to go down.
I'm also very interested, as we didn't do a lot here, yet it appears number 1 on someone's list.
Yep, it sure does.
Quality over quantity? I think so.
I agree, but I would also like to see more. And of all the places I've been, I would like to see more of this the most. And if I had to choose to set up shop in one of these places, I would set up shop here.
Yeah.
That is why. And for what it's worth, it had the best scenery.
It
Not even close.
did. I would give you that.
The scenery at Dover was top 2 and not number 2.
Yeah, that was, I've spoken now about the feeling of coming around the corner and seeing Windsor Castle for the first time. And while that is definitely a memory that sticks with me, it doesn't compare.
Then you had Dover Castle that we didn't get a chance to see because it was closed for the holiday.
Closed for the holiday.
Yeah, I would like to see more of Dover. If that was the one place, if I had to have one place I could go back to, I would go explore Dover.
So we walked up and we were overlooking like a shipment container yard or something when we first got there.
Cruise line.
Yeah, and we thought that was the view that we were getting, and just looking at that was amazing. We were like, wow, this is
Look at shipyard.
pretty incredible. Only to find out
trucks.
there was more.
All these shipping containers. I bet my Amazon package on that one.
Yeah.
So to continue walking, and then the view just kept getting better and better and better until you finally get like the picture perfect spot where
And we could have kept walking.
overlooking.
Oh gosh, we didn't.
Yeah.
Scratched the surface.
Yeah, we just did touch the surface of that one.
Yeah.
Because our first view was actually the worst.
Yeah.
And what we thought was awesome was not so awesome till we
If I
kept
had one
traveling.
place I could die at, it would be the cliffs of Dover.
Yeah, dump my ashes.
That's probably one of
Don't
my.
mind, just don't be buried.
Maybe you should die.
That's probably one of my favorite like still shots that I took while gone was just the cliff there and the ocean out to the side.
Yeah.
And again, like you can look at that picture and go, yeah, that's pretty cool. But until you're standing there literally inches away from the edge of the cliff, no barricades,
Nothing.
Yeah.
nothing stopping you from just like, whoop.
Yeah, beautiful place. I would like to go back.
It's-
If you live in England and you have
Which
not,
most of you do.
yeah, 80% of you to be exact, and you've not visited the White Cliffs of Dover,
What the hell are you doing?
I highly
What the
recommend
hell
you doing so. It is well worth the trip, and we cannot speak any more highly of it than we already have.
And now,
Number one.
the main event of the evening. Number 1.
So, if you couldn't tell by the top part of this list, yeah,
Huge
we're
fans of the coast.
Pretty big
Oh, yeah.
fans of the coast. It was impressive as the architecture was. That architecture is man-made. This stuff is gigantic. I mean, like, I don't know what it is. I'm still not sure what number one spot is.
Some of it's man-made.
We know it's not man-made.
The
It's
number
on the
one,
coast.
the number one spot on our list
London. Oh,
is Dorset. Dorset, I honestly had to go back and verify that all of these places were all encompassing in Dorset. Dirtledore, Lulworth Cove, which are like literally next door neighbors, and then Old Harry Rocks.
Old Harry's Rock.
Harry's Rock.
Old Patricia's. Old Ned's Nuts. Old Larry's Lips.
I don't know. Did we allude to all that? That each individual rock formation out there, we had to make up names
Yes,
for.
yeah.
So this is where all these names are coming from.
Yeah.
So the first experience of Dorset was Dirtledore, and again, that was one of those things where it's like you're literally
Just simply
walking,
Josh taking his shirt off there. It's like-
Yeah.
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. You're walking around the corner, and then you instantly just that split second, you know that you've seen what you came to see,
Yeah.
and it makes sense that just the video footage didn't do it any
Yeah,
justice.
you can
The
see it in the
pictures.
video 100 times.
Look it up. It doesn't look anything. I mean, yeah, a little bit, of course, but it doesn't look like
It pales
what we
in
just
comparison
saw.
what
yeah.
you're trying to say.
Yeah.
And then Josh actually getting to swim.
That was
Dirtledore.
cool.
And then
And
climbing
honestly,
Mount Everest.
the water was not as cold as I thought it was going to be, so that was a little bit of a letdown. But I'm glad it was.
It was probably the best weather day that we had.
Gosh, yeah. And thankfully, that's the day we went.
Yeah.
I think I had on jeans that day, which is really
Did you
bad.
change though?
No.
No, you stayed in jeans the whole time.
Yeah.
And then Old Harry Rocks, like after seeing Dirtledore and then seeing, Lulworth Cove and
Getting
it
to
was
stand on Old Harry's Rock.
That was one of the scariest things we did.
Yeah.
There's a path and it's got ups and downs, and I mean, it's narrower than this table, I mean, by far.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's probably a foot wide.
Then the
in some
second
parts.
you get out there, the wind
kicks up.
extra, like just
So they had a couple like
extraneously.
ups and downs, and then like a little safe zone where you feel like you could actually, relax a little bit, and then you could go down again and come up. Oh, it was.
I don't think any of us here are like thrill seekers.
No, not like that.
Yeah.
Not like that.
I'm not.
Used to be, not anymore.
Still not.
Yeah, so I don't know. I was like initially thinking it was just kind of like an afterthought before you even went there. I was like, we've seen these other two. There's no way that this can compare. And the actual Old Harry Rocks part of it was impressive. But I think even more impressive was like off to the side, like some of the other.
Still don't think it's as beautiful as Dover, but
Yeah.
I'll agree to disagree.
I mean,
It is
all in
number
all-
2 for me.
All in all, Dorset, just that to me was the most impressive of all that we saw during our trip.
I wish I could have touched the seal.
I'm surprised they actually had a sign. He must just constantly
Yeah,
be
it's like
there,
kind of lived there.
Yeah.
Took up residence.
which is pretty cool.
So again, that was our top 10. Not top 10 places to visit in the UK, just the top 10 places that we have visited on one singular trip, one time in the country, everything south of London.
And it's an average.
This
will
is
be-
our top 10. If you've been to any of these places, let us know.
What do
If
you
you'd
think
like-
number one should be?
Yeah, if you'd like to go to any of these places. If there's anything in these places that you saw in our vlogs that we didn't do that you'd like us to go back and check out, drop that below.
And do not forget, stay tuned next Tuesday as we'll be releasing our top 10 overall things that we experienced in England, which will include anything and everything from experiences, from lingo to weather to any and all things experienced while there. And all it leaves us to say is this has been Blanks No One Asked For, and certainly no one asked for this.
But wait, there's more. Still got that itch for more blanks no one asked for? Click that bottom left video down there to see the content that YouTube thinks would be the best for you.